Him who knows that I know what he seeks to know, knows it well, while he who knows not what I know, or know not.
Hoy there, I'm Mr. McFacepunch. You can call me Chainsaw. Welcome to episode 7 of our Dragon's Dogma lore run. Last time we walked around, we goofed around, got 3 different bios, so that was cool. This episode, we're going to be bullying some reptiles. So this is just total reptile annihilation episode. So I'm gonna have fun with that. I like reptiles just fine, but it's nice to keep things in their place, you know? Okay, first things first. Actually, I forgot last episode to talk to Valmiro. Hey, speak of the boy. There he is.
Now I think on it, I found this not long ago.
He gives us more presents. That's so nice.
As long as I have you here, I ought pass it on to you. Now I think on it, long as I have
Even
you here,
more presents.
I ought pass it on.
What a chum.
That was a dragon for true. The first in 50 years, they say. For all the tales, I never thought it could truly be so massive.
So, fun fact, the scale of the dragon is given in the design works. He's like 200 meters long, which is really funny because, like, people like to bring up the Grigori versus Fatalis thing because, I don't know, 2 cool dragons that can throw meteors from space, you know, why not? But in one discussion I had, someone said they're like, well, they're roughly the same size. Not that that matters for Grigori, because all his power comes from magical means anyway. But Fatalis is like 70 meters. So, Grigori is like almost 3 times the size of Fatalis, for perspective. Shame about that Monster Hunter collab. Hopefully we'll see one in the future, you know?
There's a gloom about the village still since the beast struck. As if it left its shadow to menace us. Seems it may be a while before we're back out to sea, huh?
That's like nice and poetic.
You certainly
Seems
ought
it
to
left
enter
its
someone's home
shadow.
unbidden.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Standing about fretting never got a man anywhere. The only thing to do is do whate'er we can, each day after the next.
That's right. The only thing to do is do whatever we can, each day after the next. Truly inspirational, Valmiro. Thank you.
I'm ready to see where my tomorrow takes me.
Me too.
Standing about fretting never got a man. I'm
Okay.
ready to.
That's what Valmiro had for us. So that's nice. Okay. Reptile annihilation time. Let's go talk to Pole.
Dried fish are a local staple.
Gives me chills just to think of it. I didn't. I'll make no excuse, cousin. I hid in the well for fear of the dragon. Let me tell you this. You'd be wise to keep your distance from that pit. I was too craven to venture far. And lucky thing, a queer growl echoed back with the sound of water from further in. There's aught down there. Mark my words. I could feel it, I could. You'll not see me going back down there to find out what... What? You mean to go down there? You're a right hero. Here, if you're set on going, take this with you. It should have some use to it left. I'll not soon forget your bravery, cousin. Pray, just come back alive.
My kind knows neither death nor
Okay,
age.
yeah,
There's
so
likely one reason
this
human
quest doesn't
shuns.
really have a whole lot of lore
The
to it.
beasts in the well are weak to ice.
And the beasts in the well are weak to ice.
Some refuge I chose, eh? 'Tis almost a blessing I was blind with fright. I heard a low growl while I was down there. Had I seen further back? 'Tis too frightful to think on.
Poor Foal. It's okay, buddy. I'll take care of it. Dripstone Cave. Alright. So, using instant reset for a faster lantern is hilarious to me. But instant reset is just so good. Like, it literally... Oh my gosh. I can't hit this rat. This rat is invincible! What the heck? Okay. Anyway. So, when I did my level 1 hard mode run, that swarm of bats killed me like 3 times. Because at level 1, swarm of bats, the little damage that it does, yeah, it's enough to kill you. Especially because I did a level 1 mage playthrough, because I'd never done like a dedicated magic run, so I figured I would. And like, this cave messed me up.
Monsters arisen! Ready yourself!
Monsters better ready themselves. I'm gonna get my lantern wet. Hold on. It's not that bad. It's pretty dark, I can't see much. Oh, also, so I got some comments in the last video about the audio balancing, so I kind of played with that again. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up. So, if the audio's still, like, if the levels aren't very good, just let me know. I'll keep playing with it. Let's make our way back out of the well.
You've slain the monsters of the well, have you? Truly, you are a wonder, cousin. I think upon it, 'twas my hiding in the well what brought the danger to light. I take no credit, mind. I simply feared I'd be blamed for releasing monsters upon the village for having opened up the well. 'Tis a relief in all you're doing, cuz. Here, I owe you at least this much for all you've done. I shall strive to learn from your example. Commit myself to becoming a soldier fit to defend the land and its people. Honest. The caves at the well's base run deeper than you might think. I know from the echo what returned my screams and whimpers.
I think we got all the NPC dialogue.
So many beds.
Since we're caught up with that, let's go fight a Hydra. Of all the monsters that didn't make it back to Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm kind of bummed about the Hydra. I feel like it would have been really good with all the new physics updates, but, you know, it is what it is. We got the Medusa. There's literally only one in the game, and it's in a static location. I feel like it would be really cool if they did, like... so, a lot of people want a hard mode. I don't really feel the need for a hard mode, just because, like, if all a hard mode is more stats, like, ooh, all the stuff is harder to kill, and you take more damage, like, you could just adjust your equipment for that, you know? Just equip weaker equipment, and then you still have the same challenge. But if they were to do a hard mode, like changing the spawns of monsters in the game, so like take like weaker versions and replace them with more difficult versions of the monsters, you know? Maybe use the opportunity to toss in some of the more uncommon monsters around. You know, more wargs, more garms, more Medusa, you know? That kind of stuff. I think that would sort of help the difficulty issue as well as the enemy variety issue, which I think is kind of overblown anyway. I think the enemy variety is like just fine in Dragon's Dogma 2. People want to compare it to like the Dark Arisen version, but all the Dark Arisen monsters, like that they added to the base game, those are all exclusive to Bitter Black Isle anyway. So, like base to base, Dragon's Dogma 2's enemy variety is like there's more than there is in Dragon's Dogma 1. But people also complain about the enemy variety in this game. I don't really I don't really feel that strongly about it. Like it's good enough. This isn't like a Souls game where the primary element of the gameplay is reacting to monsters, or like reacting to the enemy. That's like half of it, but Dragon's Dogma is about doing cool things. If all an enemy is an excuse for me to try cool stuff, like that's good enough. So like I don't know. The enemy variety isn't like a super important thing anyway. It's obviously like the more stuff you add, the better all the time, no matter what. But yeah, I think if a hard mode just added like changed the spawns to more difficult monsters, I think that would be cool. I mean, also adding, a Bitter Black Isle area where all the monsters just break your teeth anyway. That's good too. All right, let's get this party started.
I am Mercedes. I lead the men of the Enlistment Corps. I've heard talk of the Arisen. They say you hold dominion over the pawns. I've ordered pawns to take up swords and fight myself. But they are a clumsy lot. I cannot call them into this world as you do, though, nor make traveling companions of them. What manner of magic lets you command them so? Well, it matters not. The dragon is come. I'll welcome any help, be it pawn, arisen, farmer, or fishwife. Make use of the encampment as you please. Are you in need of rest?
Okay, so what's funny is her saying that she's tried to command pawns, but they don't work that well, is like, it's an indictment on her. Because, like, they directly respond to the strength of your will. So she's like, yeah, I can't really do it. They're a clumsy lot. They don't really listen all that good. Like, really? Because my pawns are pretty cool. It's like, yeah, it's your fault. You should command them better. Oh, something that I forgot to do earlier. If you deny quests, you sometimes get some extra dialogue. I don't think there's anything like super lore intensive in that, but you get some funny character interactions.
Well, come again.
That wasn't one of them.
The Corps will remain here a while. Until then, you're free to use our lodging, as you will.
All right,
Repose
let's
is
take a
the
nap.
better part of readiness.
Hydra!
Okay, here's the deal. If I brain splitter this guy, I'll basically insta-win. But
Blade on its neck.
if you let him go for a while, he like breaks stuff, and I think that's
Climb
good.
its neck and strike.
I just watched a man die.
I'll strike at its neck from here.
Have you ever managed to like actually kill this guy
A blade might sever its head.
in this scene? Like we're doing lots of damage and not a lot of slash damage.
Climb the neck.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I'll strike at its neck from here.
And, like see it slowly constricting. So cool.
I'll train my
You
blade
guys
on
like
its neck.
snakes? You snake people?
A blade might
I'm not a
sever its
huge
head.
snake guy, but I held a little, like, hognose guy,
I'll strike it in
and he was so stupid, but, like, in the endearing way. Like, he was just a silly little guy. A silly little worm guy. And, I was a big fan of him. But in general, not really a big snake guy. He got down 2 health bars. I'm just gonna kind of let this rock. Watch him slurp up some guards.
I'll scale it and strike from above. A sharp blade could cleave its head clean off.
Thanks, bro, flexing. Okay. We got 4 health bars down before it died.
I am impressed.
Oh, I'll be damned! This your handiwork? For truth? Oh, what did the lack of an Hydra doing here anyway?
Ancient tales of the Arisen are well and good, friend. But make a gift of these heads to the Duke, and you might earn yourself a real title. Arisen. I see better now from whence the legends arose. Good judgment, swift footwork. Impressive, truly. In any case, the Duke will want to know of this attack. I'd hoped to gather a larger force before leaving for the capital. But a Hydra's head and the Arisen who claimed it make up the difference amply. I cannot say what the past may hold. You'll need your strength. It will be slow going with a cart. I dare say you'll have no trouble catching up.
Okay, so she just admits there, like if you remember from a few episodes ago, the reason the pass was closed was supposedly because of monsters. But also, she just admitted that she was waiting to gather a larger group. So the conspiracy that the enlistment corps is forcing the road shut so people can't flee, she just gave that some merit. So, I think that's funny.
What? You have some business here yet? Time is scarce. A rotten head makes for a poor trophy.
I think if we literally just brought the skeleton, the little Hydra skull, that would still be a really cool present,
Hold on.
you know? That might trigger the next set of dialogue. I'm not sure though.
Back to
I might
Cassardis,
have
Arisen.
to
'Tis a fair note.
actually accept off with its head,
The encampment was a humble enough place before
but
the attack.
we'll go around and talk to people, see how it goes.
Seems your training has come to bear fruit, eh, Risen?
The training grounds are you.
You see it, don't you? The flow of one blow into the next in perfect harmony. A master fights efficiently, gracefully. Ah, yes. I once saw it clear myself, though I catch only shadows and glimpses now. Perhaps I've not left to teach. Ah, yes. Perhaps.
Sir Burn. This dude's so cool.
That terrible creature. I saw it from my spot at the post. What was it? It's been dispatched then? Thank the Maker. Hold a moment. Is Quina not with you? She was said to lead the village in search of art for your wounds. I thought you accompanied her. These are dark times for a girl alone in the wilds. Any idea where she might be off to?
Well sturdy, this place. We'll need Quina's help for this. Let's ask at the village.
The chief worries after Quina as well. I pray she wouldn't attempt the forest alone, if another beast such as that Hydra were to appear.
Okay. We'll probably save Quina for next episode, because we have a lot of people to talk to. It's interesting that they show the remaining eye on the head of the Hydra, so you know it was
We share
sent by
these roads with
Salvation.
traveling
You know,
peddlers,
the Elysian
guards, and
controlling some
everyone.
monsters.
Let's have a look at...
Even though, like, the whole goal of the game is to, like, find the dragon, kill the dragon, the main antagonist of this game is actually Salvation. Like, they are the primary problem behind everything. The whole plot of this game is driven by Salvation, at least on the, worldly level.
How you fare?
Okay, it looks like for most of the people, I actually have to start off with its head, and then that'll give us more dialogue.
There's little use standing around here. Let's have a look at her closer. Not even the saltiest fishermen venture far from shore, I hear. We'll need Quina's help for this.
Well sturdy
Let's
this.
ask- Back to Cassardis, Arisen. 'Tis a fair notion.
I cannot say what the pass may hold. You will need your strength. It will be slow going with a cart. I dare say you will have no trouble catching up. We'll meet at the Way Castle. Till then, I bid you rest well. 'Tis a long road ahead.
Flying monsters plague the path to Grand Sorin.
The encampment was a humble enough place before the attack.
Not bad. A treat to watch, that was.
They're among the armaments. Should you...
Cleft the serpent's head easy as a sheaf of rye.
I mean, I literally just stood and watched, but...
You're some wonder, Arisen. You're some wonder.
Yeah, so the canonical outcome of that is you actually try really hard, and then you actually manage to cut off the head of the Hydra. And
You're some wonder, Arisen.
Armin here says that we did it pretty easily. So... Oh, here's Jonathan.
Within this tent.
Arisen, I am honored to make your acquaintance. This pawn is known as Jonathan. I am a collector of items from other realms. All that I have, I am willing to offer you. I only ask a small payment of rift crystals in return. I attempt to seek out rarities, so please take a look. Choose as you will, sir. I am ever... If you would trade rift crystals for goods, you need but ask. This pawn's sole desire is to aid you, Arisen. Choose as you will, sir. I am... This pawn shall assist you to the best of my ability, Arisen. Choose as you will, sir. I am ever... I pray you will see my mistress's dreams realized. Choose as you will, sir. I am ever... The hopes of my fallen mistress go with you. I pray you will be the one to grant her rest. Choose as you will. I am ever... The hopes of my fallen mistress go with you.
Okay, so Jonathan is one of the few pawns that hang around after his master dies, because she imparted on him some sort of final wish. So the typical thing that happens is when an Arisen dies, their pawn, they go beyond the rift forevermore. They're just stuck there. But the exception to that is whenever they're left with a dying wish, that they can have a command that lets them hang around into the future. That's what happened with Celine, that's what happens with Jonathan, that's what happens with Barnaby. That's at least most of the examples. You know something else that's better in Dragon's Dogma 1 than in Dragon's Dogma 2? If a pawn says a line, and you weren't quite paying attention but it sounded important, you can actually go back in history and read the pawn dialogue. So, sometimes what the pawns say are, like, actually incredibly important. So being able to go back in time and see what they said is pretty helpful.
Not even the saltiest fisherman.
I hear tell of a hideous creature called a Hydra roams these parts. First your dragon, now this Hydra? Just what's going on, I'd like to know. It's right rude of those monsters to attack us all ganged up like.
You tell them, Benita.
Someone ought to whack off their heads with a broadsword. Teach them a fair fight.
Hey, that's why I'm here. Yep, we're cutting the heads off of all sorts of serpents. Now we got this quest. I don't want to do this right now. We're going to talk to people first.
I heard the news. They say you're to set off on a fantastic journey. How exciting to travel the world. You've just got to tell me of the amazing sights you see when you come back.
So, you're the Arisen, eh? I imagine you'll be off on a magical quest soon. You will be coming back, I trust. This is your home, after all. We know you've got duties throughout the land, so there's no shame in you leaving. Besides, it'll take more than a dragon to scare this village away.
So, I don't know if you knew this, but, yeah, Quina leaves a note whenever she leaves.
This room.
I cannot tell you how many hundreds of hours I had in this game before I knew that. A message Quina left in her room. The words church, dragon, and Witchwood stand out. Yeah. So she's gone to the Witchwood.
Just as you'd
The Hydra's that beast what looks all serpent-like, yeah? I espy any of them Hydras slithering about, I'll cleave his head and take his fangs for spoons. Old folks say any land sees the dragon is cursed to fall. The more I hear talk of that sort, the more I drink to forget it. Old folks say any land, the more...
I always appreciate Marin's gumption. You know? He's, out here trying to make spoons out of Hydra tea.
I'd thought tales of you and the worm empty rumor, till I heard count of your clash with the Hydra. I'm in awe, sir. I thought you seafaring types rough of temper and strong of arm, but that wasn't the half of it. I'm in awe. I thought...
Geraldo's gassing us up a little.
A Hydra, you say? I only wish I had more. You always... The woods are brimming with beasties, seems like. Hydras, the dragon. The likes of me can only spend a day's fretting and praying. Praying and fretting. I only wish I... You always... There are times I wonder what's the point being born at all, truth be told. I only wish I... You always...
Up to more trouble, Minnow? You look well, take. The young folk of the village are all half mad with worry, but there's time yet. When the dragon comes, it don't just set to burning the countryside straight off. It sleeps and gathers its strength. Where or for how long, who can say? You look well, take.
Now, where shall we head?
The dragon's lethargy means there's time yet to rouse an army and strike the beast where it sleeps. Though the talk from the encampment paints that lot as a right band of fools. You look well, take. The dragon's lethargy means, though the talk from you look well.
So,
The you look well, take.
So Iola kind of hints towards something that another guy says a little later, where the dragon always comes 3 times. Comes like once when he first shows up, a second time to herald the coming destruction, and then the third time to actually put everything to fire. That's the way, like, the faith tells it in the scriptures. Like, And as far as the dragon stuff goes, the faith isn't just like random religious ideas, it's a study of how the dragon behaves. So, yeah, it's weird that it's different for that in Dragon's Dogma 2, but the whole point of that story is that they're kind of bending the rules of the world, so I guess it makes sense.
Arisen, you say? What, you aim to leave the sea then? If the chief has said not to stop you, neither will I. All this talk of dragons and doom has people going mad. Times like these, a man should steel himself and live life same as he always has.
The produce looks quite fresh.
Let the dragon come and the doom criers shout themselves blue. They can find me at the bar. It's as Inez says. All a man needs is drink, song, and company for the night. Come to think on it, there was a strange man come round the village a while back. Wore a tattered hood. I haven't seen him since. Not that I miss the noise, mind.
Okay, so Rorik comments on the Elysian being in Cassardis. That's kind of cool.
Come to think on it, I haven't...
Yeah, that's what he got. Let's see, who else is there? Well, we got to talk to Alonso. We'll try talking to Valmiro again, too. I don't know where Alonso is. Oh, Inez.
I hear tell you've slain some terrible creature. Are you off to join the Duke's army, then? Seems a dreadful bore, life in the army. I'm coming from such a carefree life here. Stay and fish, says I. Drink and sing, and pass the nights in a lover's embrace. What more could a person want from life?
So for all the calls to duty that you have, right, not Call of Duty, that's a first-person shooter. Calls to duty,
Do you suppose
you
this
know,
dried fish
you're the guy with the means to protect everybody, so you should, right? And we do, because that's the kind of guy we are. But in this duty, you can actually find yourself trapped. So this fairly consistent narrative within the village saying, hey, no, stay here, do what you want. It's like, it's presenting options that aren't actually given in the game. Like, at this point, the Arisen could choose to just stay in Cassardis and say, well, bollocks to that dragon, and then just continue fishing until the end of time. But you don't, because that dragon might hurt somebody you love. So you gotta go show it who's boss. And then all sorts of cosmological nonsense behind that. There's Alonso.
I hear tell you've already made a name for yourself at the encampment. You work fast, eh? I'd always thought you a bit different from the others. Now I see it's true. You were meant for grander things than fishing, my friend.
Right. Let's go talk to the church guys. And then we might... I said we would do it in the next episode, but we might actually, go find Quina in the Witchwood this episode. Just because there's a line that I want from Adaro.
I suppose it matters little where I reside, doesn't it now? Even should I flee the village, the dragon could easily follow. My father says fortune has a plan for us all, that we should simply live as best as we are able. My father says fortune has...
My husband says the Maker has a plan for us all. I try to believe him. But if he's wrong, well, I try not to think about that. Goblins and wolves are one matter, but how does one face down a dragon? It's huge, that one. Like fighting a castle with wings.
I like to call it a mountain with teeth, but a castle with wings is pretty good.
I've no taste for death, but we all of us meet our end sooner or later, eh? Why spend a days wrung out from worry? I'm as like to drown in the ocean as perish from a dragon's flame.
Yeah, so Alethea, she'll have more of her faith journey later on, but I think that's pretty cool watching that.
What I can help you with? I am both a servant of the faith.
I think Oster, like, doesn't
I make no
change
demand of
until just about the end of the game.
Greetings. Slowly but surely, the village is recovering its calm. Perhaps the faith is not the greatest support in their lives. But newly arrived though I may be, I am a resident of this village. I must profess the glory and the blessings of the Maker to all who live here. And I promise I will do everything I can to make this happen.
Okay. Let's go talk to Adaro.
Hold, Minnow. I'd have your ear a moment. It's been a full sun since last I saw Quina. She spoke of the Witchwood to find a cure for your wound. If she's gone there for true, I beg of you, find Quina and see her back safely, ere some ill befalls her.
I feel more familiar with his quest.
Quina feels for you. She does. Your wound is oft on her mind. I thought her holed up in her room, poring over one tome or another. But at last look, I found her gone. She most like stumbled on some remedy for your condition and set out in search of it. The last never was one to sit idle. I only pray danger passes her by.
Okay, Witchwood time. Woohoo. You know, I wonder how Quina got past all these guys.
There may be wolves about.
Like, you think she snuck through? You think she's just, like, so sweet and innocent that they wouldn't dare try anything? Or, like, you think she's just, like, actually secretly cracked?
The forests of southern Grances are ever shrouded in this thick mist.
Oh, what are you doing? You came searching for me? Forgive me. I would never wish to worry you. But I had to come. A witch walks these woods, one who understands the language of the dragon. If I may find her, I will beg her aid in healing your wound. Will you accompany me? This fog bodes ill. I would walk easier with you at my side. The witch of these woods was once friend to our village, but with the faith's arrival, she fled here for fear of being branded heretic. This fog confounds me. Is it always so in these woods? It's as if the very air strains to block our path. It's been an age since the witch last visited our village. In truth, I can't be certain she lives here still. Yet even should we find her vanished, we must keep faith. There must be aught here, some small clue. I now know why they named this forest Witchwood, and not just after her we seek. The villagers are right to fear this place.
So, Quina gives us a little bit about the witch. Nothing we didn't already know from, like, bios and stuff. But...
Anytime.
So, when the Faith came to Cassardis, the witch left for fear of being branded a heretic.
We must ford this river to reach the witch's cottage.
The only problem is, there's never, like, a statement on when the Faith arrived in Cassardis.
The wood
You
is a
could
common bit,
maybe...
almost as if it means to hide aught away.
You can maybe say that,
Is a place rich in value.
it was around the same time that Adaro accepted being a territory of Grand Sorin, but then that would push Sophia to being alive during your lifespan, which makes her death even a more recent occurrence. That's kind of crazy to me. but at the very least, Sophia was alive within a dog's lifespan. We know that. I don't need to worry about that. I kind of do, because I got Quina here now. Dang. Yeah, see, Keena's just running away from these wolves. She's either, like, pretending to be weak so that we can save her and be big strong guy, or, like, she probably just sweet-talked her way past all those bandits. Keena, you're taking too long. Did she get stuck? Where you at, girl? Why are you down there? Come on.
Yet, for all the danger, this pawn feels quite comfortable here. Magic, or similar, hangs thick in the air.
In truth, I can't be certain she lives here still.
So the pawn's making a comment about feeling comfortable here. That's interesting because that might... For those who don't know, I don't remember if I said it yet or not, but pawns are made of pure rift essence, or nothingness, as they say in Dragon's Dogma 2. Then you get those magic metals that have the dark symbol on them, which ties to magic as well as, you know, the rift. So that mist might have similar properties to the essence within the rift. Just because of that one little pawn line, you know? I think that's cool.
It was a fine scrap, if I may say so myself.
Maybe I should walk around the Witchwood for a little bit to try and get some pawn dialogue. That might be a good idea.
There. That must be it. Come on, cuz. Begging your pardon, but we seek the witch of these woods. Oh? A great and aged woman? Perhaps you might have seen her?
The witch? You seek grandmother?
Your grandmother? Yes. Where might we find her? I would ask her aid in a dire matter.
She is dead. She died, as all must.
Oh. What of you then? Know you aught of the dragon? Can you read the worm speak?
Gran told me. The faith knows. It cloaks the dragon, cloaks the truth. Those who search for truth outside the faith are branded heretic.
So your grandmother told you naught of the dragon, that the faith might leave you be?
Yes.
Then it seems we must turn to the faith if we are to learn more. You have our thanks. We'll leave you in peace to return to our village.
So there's this narrative of, like, the faith having all this, like, hidden knowledge and stuff like that. And then a lot of it's in the Grand Cathedral. Oh. So a lot of that is why I was really hoping that we would go to the mainland for the sequel. Because this game doesn't really touch too much on that secret knowledge. Like, if you talk to a couple members of the faith, they give you some stuff about the dragon. But they set up this narrative that the faith knows more than they're letting on. But you never get to crack it. It's like, it's begging for exploration, and we just never got the chance. It's such a shame to me. Speaking of curious stones, let's go look at the golems.
What's this? Is a curious stone, is it not?
So I don't... Oh yeah, yeah. Here, there's a magic metal that nobody can break yet. I wish I could zoom on it a little harder, but yeah, dark symbol. Very cool. It's the same as the metals floating around the Witchwood. Interestingly, in Dragon's Dogma 2, the golems have the same magic metals, but they added magical runes to them, which say something in Japanese, which I don't remember off the top of my head, but I asked the Japanese Dogma Twitter about it, and they said that it said something along the lines of uh, formless one, fetus of the earth.
Let's have a look.
So, that's weird. So, like, with the with magic being tied to the rift, right? I have to feel like that sort of goes
Who
into
knows what lies in wait?
the
Best proceed with caution.
formlessness of that. The formless one, fetus of the earth is like that's really weird, but like the earth, he's made of rocks. Fetus would mean he's like not born yet. Which does that mean that it's just like the golem is like the first step towards something else?
Plants of all kinds
Like
grow at trees'
that's
feet, like so
I
many
don't know.
verdant children.
I don't have any good answers for that, but it raises some cool
Share these
questions.
roads with traveling fiddlers, guardsmen, and other folk.
Quina is sick. Pray, forgive her. If she acts the fool, 'tis only 'cause concern overwhelms her sense. She's like you in that, always setting off without so much as a thought. Most like the fault of ill parenting, which makes the blame mine then, eh? A Hydra. Oh my goodness. It is a black day when such a creature slithers so near our hearth and home. Always thought Hydras and the like stuck to the Fetor in the west.
Okay, this is really cool. I'm gonna let him finish, but the fetter, notice how it has it's capitalized. Like the fetter is a proper noun.
Imagine you routing a Hydra, and with the aid of pawns at that. I say that makes you the true Arisen. If others wish to deny it, hang 'em and be damned.
Have the people of
Aye. The ancient tales speak of the Arisen walking the land with pawns at their side. Suppose you'll be leaving us then. Well, I warrant events will unfold as they will. Poor Quina worries about you too much. It's fear, you see. Fear that you'll go off to distant lands and find your end at the claws of that dragon. Poor Quina, what? It's fear.
Okay, before we talk to Kina, let's talk about the fetter a little bit. Okay, so now we'll learn when we reach Grand Soren that 250 years ago, before in-game events, the Leogran Peninsula, like this whole area was the Leogran Peninsula, and it was split with Grancis in the east and Lior in the west. So Lior plus Grancis is Leogran. This was the Leogran Peninsula. Then we learned from another guy later that 150 years ago, the lands to the west of Grancis were put to ruin. So Lior, that's this mess over here, got totally blasted by the dragon. Grigori just wiped it off the face of the planet. Now, it's home to all sorts of, like, monsters and stuff, and instead of calling it Lior, they call it the Fetter, which is like when something Fetter is like rotten stuff. So the Fetter is like the rotting corpse of Lior, as a nation. So I think that's cool. Alright, let's talk to Quina.
Try not to be too much of a bother.
Sometimes I feel like a ship against the current. I swore to heal your wound, yet I feel I know less now than when I started. I can't stand idly by while you risk all to save us. There must be some way I might aid you, if only a little.
Okay. Alright, so let's wrap this up by reading some quest details and the chronicle. News of Quina's sudden disappearance has left you shaken. Seek out the village chief to learn more of her whereabouts. Word has it Quina trekked into the Witchwood. Begin your search there. Quina would delve deeper into the Witchwood. See her to safety as you search for the witch. Quina left ahead for Cassardis. Return to the village yourself and inform Adaro of what transpired. You helped Quina return home safely and informed the village chief of your deeds. Quest reward received. Okay, not too much exciting there. That's okay. A rude awakening. Your night among the enlistment corps was restful. Not so the morning. The Corps' lack of vigilance has invited a hideous visitor. Well, that's not nice. He's just a snake. Drive back the fell beast, laying waste to the encampment. You cannot leave the Corps soldiers to themselves. You dealt damage enough on the Hydra to drive it away. Quest reward received. Very cool. Yeah, let's check Deep Trouble. Unnerving snarls from Cassardis' old well startled a soldier seeking refuge inside. Investigate the source of the sounds. Enter the well in Cassardis and explore its depths. Set upon saurians nesting in the well. Inform Pole of Cassardis that you have slain the well's foul inhabitants. The well is cleared and safe. Thanks to you. Quest reward received. Okay, so quest stuff didn't really add much, but let's check the chronicle. As dawn breaks, a piercing wail shatters the calm of the encampment. 'Tis an enormous Hydra, putting most recruits to flight. But be it another facet of your training or a true assault, you dare not join in the retreat. Whatever the chances, you must stand and fight. After a grueling battle, you drive off the Hydra, leaving the beast one head lighter. Mercedes, the Corps' leader, advises you that the creature's head should prove your mettle as Arisen to Duke Edmund. Like as not, such feats are required of Arisen, who seem to bear the standard for the entire dragon resistance. Alright, that'll do it this time around. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, let me know about the audio stuff. Obviously, I'll figure out some stuff during editing, but there's only so much I can do at that point. So let me know about that. I'll fix it as much as I can. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the next one. One foot after the next. Come what may.
I'll